Hi folks, my name is Spencer West and I'm here to give you a rundown on accessible hiking. So let's go together. The features that make a hike accessible for me are having wide paths, and typically they can be sort of one terrain. That's really helpful, whether that's just all dirt or cement or concrete or like a wooded path. That's helpful for me as a wheelchair user. The things that make a hike inaccessible for me are narrow paths, really steep hills, and anything that's full of mud or there's a lot of water or a lot of big debris, meaning like branches and trees and those sorts, and rocks and like those sorts of things. I got this new device for my chair that hooks on the front that's basically this one big massive wheel, and it lifts the two little wheels on the front of my chair up off the ground, because that's often the issue. Those get full of twigs and leaves and they just don't roll well in nature. So this one big wheel allows me to take my chair pretty much anywhere. So one of the things that I've been noticing is there has been a bit of an emphasis on making some trails more accessible, which is great, and not just for someone like me as a wheelchair user, but folks with other mobility devices and also caregivers and families with kids that maybe want to bring strollers. But I would like to see a larger emphasis on making more trails accessible for everyone. So some of the resources that I use in regards to finding accessible trails, one is just social media. The other is an app called Access Now, which uses community mapping to highlight accessible things in your area, including hiking. One of the online resources that I recently discovered is Parks Canada, and you can click on accessible trails and it lists by province all of the trails in that area, which is very cool and very helpful. So for me in particular, I've never done any hikes outside of the province of Ontario, but on Parks Canada, because it's listed by province, there's so many hikes and trails out there that are accessible that I can't wait to experience at some point. The piece of advice I would offer someone that's looking to get out there that might have different needs when it comes to accommodations and mobility is to use the Parks Canada website or use the Access Now app and just check out what's out there. And a lot of them have photos and info on what specifically the accommodations look like, but you'll never know unless you check for yourself. Hope to see you out there.